Hi, everyone. This is Nikki Bowles with Empower by Nikki. And today with me, I have Karey with Hoppy Skincare. And she's just going to come on and introduce herself and tell you a little bit about what she does, her background, and what has inspired her to keep going and pushing forward past different adversities in her life. Hi, Karey.
Hello, thank you for having me. So, I am the founder of Hopothecary, which is a global recognition award winning beauty brand. And I just recently launched the whole reason behind the Hopothecary, hoppyskincare.com, which is my CBD alternative topical solutions that where I incorporated hops, not hemp. So they're completely THC free. There's not even hemp oil in the products. So yeah, I use terpenoids from hops to alleviate pain. I have a product called the Totally Dope Wrinkle Sedator because it literally puts your wrinkles to rest. So they're really fun products, clean beauty, all the ingredients I check on a database, skin deep, and if it's not 1 or 0 in hazard, it doesn't go in my products, and pretty much everything carries like a point 0.5 because somebody will have a reaction. Oh, somebody out there. I've never had the issue, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's somebody who could have a reaction to ingredients. There's people who have pepper airborne pepper allergies, which I'm like, "How can you even go outside?" But it's a thing.
Yeah. So, why did you get started with it? How did you get started?
So I actually have been in the skincare and cosmetic industry for quite some time. I worked for my sister for 3 years, and I really had to study products to, uh, influence people to go away from what they've been using for years to try this new small brand that they've never heard of. So I just spent a lot of time researching all the products on the market, and the stuff I found out was actually pretty crazy. A lot of the different products that people are using, like Burt's Bees, for instance, is actually owned by Clorox and Company. Consumers aren't really aware of that because they don't necessarily research their products that deep. They just see the natural packaging and the naturalness, and they don't realize that it's actually owned by a big box corporation. With that being said, in 2013, I created a brand in my kitchen on Lake Drive. Be Aesthetics was what it was called. And in 2 weeks, I had an investor who wanted her face on the products because I wasn't really ready to put my face on anything yet. So, yeah, we spent 3 years formulating everything and anything under the sun. So really that's where I learned how to formulate all of the cosmetics. And then fast forward to 2017, I was working in a brewery and I had asked the owner if I could create a lip balm for the holidays that tasted like our flagship beer. And he said, absolutely, but it better taste like our flagship beer. So I went and I did all these studies trying to find an ingredient that would make it taste like our monkey mouth. And at like 4 o'clock in the morning, this study fell in my lap about hops and how it's got all of these benefits. And it was kind of an untouched study. So I was like, my goodness, I shut the gate on the lip balm and I went and bought a purple laptop and drew my logo. And so that's when Hop Head Apothecary, which is actually the skincare brand underneath the Apothecary umbrella, was born 2017.
Wow, that's incredible. It's pretty interesting how little things like that fall into our laps just from doing, like, the research on, like, something else, and then you're like, "Oh my gosh, like, this could be, like, even more amazing than whatever I ever thought it could be."
It's a cosmetic company's dream to find a proprietary ingredient that no one else has touched. So that's actually how I won the Global Recognition Award was because my formulations are innovative and I'm the pioneer of bringing hops to the table as a topical solution.
That's amazing.
So yeah, and then I let the whole hop thing go dormant. I drew the logo, which came from the periodic table of elements, and I needed to do research and development because no one had done it. So it wasn't like I could just go and I didn't even know how to get the hops in the product, really. That all was divine intervention as well, how that all came about. So I needed to keep the vision alive, and I created 250 products, all in different collections around the concept of the hops, but none of these products had hops in it. So I have the Liberty Skincare collection, which ended up launching in New York City in 2023, which made me an official brand, and the Bulletproof Mineral Cosmetics, which is a talc-free spray mineral makeup that launched on Broadway as well. And then I have my body indulgences, which is a lot of stuff, and that's where the 250 products really comes in, is the Chateau perfumery and the body lotions and the body sprays and body scrubs, all the things. I've got everything, and it's all amazing stuff, or it would have never made it to the collections. So, yeah. And then in 2024, I was cast on 2 TV shows. One was in front of a panel of celebrity investors, and the other one was a 7-day entrepreneur boot camp that is now airing, called The Blocks. I was part of season 18 on The Blocks. So I had spent 7 days in Tulsa, Oklahoma with 100 other entrepreneurs in a serious boot camp. So yeah, I decided it was time to bring the Hops products to life, and that's when I finally launched them, was 2024. So yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. So what are your, like, top products that you have right now?
So my best I have 2 best sellers. This is the Blue Ice, which is a pain topical. It's very interesting because I never really thought that I'd end up making a pain topical, although I've always been very interested in researching and developing one, because my dad was actually part of the opioid pandemic, and he passed away at 53 years old. So I do not remember the doctors ever giving him a topical solution. And I don't even know if he would have used it, because he got so hooked on the dope that it was a sad thing to see. So yeah, it's funny how life turns out. Now that was 2000. Now here we are, 2025, and I'm the founder of Hoppy Skincare. So yeah, that's one of my
Right.
best sellers. And then the Totally Dope Wrinkle Sedator it's a game changer. Actually, my customers tell me that it takes away a headache instantly. I don't really suffer from headaches, so I wouldn't know, but I do know that it has improved my overall skin, and it does it like instantly because hops are a sedative, so it works kind of like an external Botox.
Well, that's awesome. That's pretty incredible. Yeah, and it's at hoppyskincare.com or hoppyskin.com?
Hoppyskincare.com. So hoppyskin.com is going to be brought into play once I get all the kinks ironed out on Hoppy Skincare. So basically, Hoppy Skincare has the story behind the brand, a lot of stuff you can read through the science. Once you get hooked on the products, you'll go to hoppyskin.com, where you don't have to read any of the BS. You can just purchase your products and go, kind of like a quick shop, if that makes sense. Once you know what you want, you don't have to go through all the story and all of that.
That's awesome. So what do you think were, like, your biggest challenges during this, and how did you overcome them? Any advice that you would like to share with those who are watching or
So it's
listening?
actually a constant challenge because
Mhm,
times are constantly changing, especially with website SEO, search engine optimization is a big
mhm.
deal. And you have to figure out how to get seen on Google. You can't just put up your website and hope that people will land there. But now it's changing, and I'm having to learn GEO, which is AI's version of SEO, because a lot of everything is going to AI. So website building, I built my own website. That's a huge challenge, and getting seen on the internet and found is a tough one. So I would say that's a huge challenge. I guess social media, feeling confident enough to go out there and be your brand is one of the hardest things I think for brands to do. But once you get comfortable with it, it's just it flows, once you let your character out, because you are the face of your brand, which is you have to step out of that comfort zone. Formulations, I work with 4 labs. Like I said, I've been doing this forever, so I formulate stuff in my sleep. I brand it in my sleep. I do have a rule now that I don't create a product until I have a name for it, because you can make all the products in the world, but if you don't have a name for your product, it's just sitting there staring
Yeah.
at you. So I learned that the hard way when I created my men's collection. I couldn't name it. Just sat there for 3 weeks staring at these products. And then one day I was hashtagging and Glow Bro popped into my head for a hashtag. And so I named the men's collection the Glow Bro.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
it was really frustrating staring at these products and not being able to even come up with a name for it. When I finally brought the Hoppy Skincare to life, it was quite interesting because the names were just like flowing at me, just like the blue ice, best bud. I make fun of the cannabis industry. So meet your new best bud. Yeah, the totally dope. The wrinkle sedator. So I think because that was my prize formulations, it was just easy and really fun to name those. So yeah, that's been a struggle. And getting support from friends and family is one of the hardest things. I don't think people realize how tough because they're actually the least supportive.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely like they're a downfall for a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people going after what they're wanting because they're probably not the most critical. They're just very pessimistic, I guess would be correct term on how to put it. There's very like not engaging in helping support. Like your biggest supporters are going to be people that you don't know.
Strangers, it's
Like people
wild.
that
Yeah.
try it just randomly and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing. How can I support you?" And then they go and share everything. They go and tell their friends. Like those are like your biggest supporters. And I think that that's what's really hard is that people don't understand that the things that you say to other people can really make an impact. And like, going and trying different things and then actually promoting it when you see fit that can really help or like make or break an entrepreneur or a business, especially when they are just starting out. Like I had a lot of kickback on my stuff and I just kept going and kept pushing through and kept pushing through. Didn't tell people about certain things. And I just kept going. And then people found out once it was done. Signing leases. Sorry, no one's going to know. Okay, well, I'm moving in. So here you go.
And that's really how you have to do it. Like the hops stuff, I kept so quiet because it was untouched, you know? And so
Yeah.
if I were to go out there and tell people about it before I even had the formulations done, Johnson& and Johnson would own the hops products. Do you know what I mean? And now they can buy them from me. But yeah, and then I've had a lot of setbacks. I've been going through a custody battle for it's like the never ending custody battle actually. So that's been really tough as far as the setbacks with that have went. There's I have to run to court, and so that takes a break and everything that I'm focusing on at that time and just dealing with it all has been, kind
Yeah.
of a nightmare, but through it, I've managed to pretty much just put the story on the jars. That's where I came up with the bulletproof minerals, the mugshot ready photo finish, be ready to get framed. People laugh at the names, but they've got to wonder why I named the products that, right?
Right.
I mean, you got
Yeah.
to be going through it to feel confident enough to name your products the Liberty Collection. Lady Liberty, Little Liberty, and Lady Justice. So Little Liberty is a huge seller as far as my non-hoppy stuff goes. And right now I have those on my Poshmark store just so they are available. I do have a brick and mortar, but I'm on my way out of the brick and mortar because it just was more of a sink than it wasn't making money. It was making just enough money, but it got me up every day, got me to my business every day to focus on the next step of the business. So, 2 years in the brick and mortar, I have a huge customer return rate, which is awesome. I've met a lot of great people. I brought on 16 entrepreneurs. So I help to bring other people's dreams to life. Like my youngest entrepreneur is 10 years old. She makes pens and her pens sell like crazy. So I also purchased beautybox.com. So that is another addition to what I'm doing, but that website has a lot of tweaks that I need to make on it. So uh, in those boxes, the reason I brought that up is I will be incorporating some of the things from the entrepreneurs in the Westwoods. So
That's so awesome. And I know, like, when we talked before, with all the custody battle stuff and everything else, it really gave you, like, that tunnel vision to just, like, focus and just go, and you just kept going and kept going and kept going and pushing yourself. And, that's another thing that, like, a lot of us have that one thing that, like, just sets us off and we just go for it. Or we have that availability at that time and we're just like, "Okay, let's do it." And we just tunnel vision, just straight on, head it like go for it until it happens. And, like with both of us being parents, we have those extra little things that we have to do and have to deal with and have to have, not necessarily like, I guess like we don't have to have like, that whole role and just that role as a parent. Like having this other side of us really like obviously brings everything together, but it gives us like a different aspect of how to look at life and how to approach different things like on a daily basis. And it also gets our mind off of other things that are happening, at home and at our own lives and, custody battles and just different things like that. But yeah, it's a pretty incredible story that you have and a great brand. And I'm so excited that you're able to like get this out and get this going and that you won the award last year. It's really incredible. And I'm so proud of you for
Thank
just
you.
going for it. Yeah.
I actually just won another award. So crazy. So I was supposed to go down to Miami last fall to meet with one of the sharks actually and do like a business plan. I was accepted because I had already been with that group at one point when I launched the products in front of them in July of 2024. But I had to opt out of that. It just wasn't the right timing. Um, and then I was supposed to go to grad school in Kansas City, but because of the custody order, I paid for grad school. I did all of that, blocks grad school, and I had to opt out of that. So the universe has a crazy way of bringing things in full circle, and I was chosen out of 600 nominees. They chose 100 for the Successful Women in Business with the Global Trade Chamber. So I will be going to
Nice.
Miami and getting an award at a gala down there in the fall. So super exciting stuff.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And there's a good chance I will have a second global recognition award this year as well. So fingers
Wow.
crossed.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. That is
I know.
really incredible.
So yeah, it's been quite the journey and it has not been easy, especially with the custody battle. Been my biggest downfall in the business is um, I'm strong 98% of the time. Then there's that 2% of the time where I've got to stop everything I'm doing and go to a court date that's BS because it's not even about custody of my kids anymore. He kidnapped them and he got away with it. That makes me just frustrated. And then that's when I have what I like to call the Carey meltdowns, which is like it happens. And it's generally when it's right before I have to go and stand in a courtroom I don't belong in. So that's kind of how it goes. So yeah, tunnel vision is the key. It
It
is the
is the
key
key.
to
Yeah, and don't
life.
listen to all the naysayers and all the people that bring it down. Like, especially with what you have it buckled down and you have it just honed in. Um, yeah, it is definitely just the tunnel vision. You just have to
You
have the
gotta do
tunnel
it.
vision.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes it takes a really long time to see it, but that's why you gotta just keep there, just going in the tunnel vision. I have a lot of funny sayings I've created over the years, like quotes. So our slogan is life happens, don't let it age you, be statuesque. And that was me mocking a customer complaint I got once at the brewery because they got the best service ever. I'm sorry, if you got the best service ever, where's the complaint?
Yeah,
But the server seemed like she wanted to jump off a bridge. I looked like I wanted to jump off a bridge. I didn't smile the whole time. I'm like, my kids were kidnapped 2 days before. Most people wouldn't even have made it into work 2 days later, let alone
right.
walk around smiling. I had nothing to smile about. So yeah, I that's when that slogan came up. And then I have another one, and it is attorneys are like skit care. You got to buy it, try it, and hope to God that it works because it can be a very expensive mistake.
It could, it could.
Yeah. So I mean, the jokes, they're all just jokes, right? But yeah, you just have to life throws you lemons, you gotta do something with it, right?
Mhm.
Make
Yep,
skincare
that's so true. Right?
or whatever you do, go with your dreams. If you can't, you just gotta wrap your brain around it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's always that first step that is the hardest and, continuing beyond what people say about what you're
And you
doing.
can never underestimate yourself either. Like what you do, you made a successful podcast. podcasting is no joke. I started a podcast, Lawless to Flawless. I have one little episode out there, but then it made more sense to become a guest on podcasts so I could actually learn how
Right?
they go because it's a lot of stuff you go through, having to select the perfect guests, all of the layout of it, the editing. It is a lot. I did meet the deadline. I have the one out there. I learned what an RSS feed is. Um, but yeah, never underestimate your work because some days I think everyone knows how to do what I do. Not everyone knows how to make a label for a
Yeah.
product or even where to start making
See,
a
and I think
label for a product.
that's the fun part of, like, starting a business and owning a business is that when you do have to do, like, those little things, especially to keep costs down on other, you know, factors, you just learn how to do everything, and then you're like, "Oh, I can do it." Y Like, people are like, how do you do that?" Well, I learned, and I've been going as I go, like, I just learn as I go, and I get it done, whatever I need
Absolutely.
to get done.
And the great part of learning, I recommend you learn everything yourself, like
Mhm.
website development. So when I do decide sometime to get my website professionally done, if I even decide to, when they come at me with a price of $10,000, I can look at them and laugh because I know that they're the pros and they could put my website together in a day. Because to them, it's like making skincare to me. For me, building the website, it's kind of a headache because it's not something that I do, full time, but it's kind of really cool to see the things you find while you're building your website because you learn so much. And even like the SEO, you can hire people out for it, but you can also learn how to do it yourself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tools out there that you can just pay for the app to be able to just do
And
it on
even,
your
like, the
end. So
extended version of, like, ChatGPT and, like, you can get, like, the SEO, like, add-on. You could, like, do all these different things that are at your fingertips? And so it's kinda nice to be able to do it yourself so you can not have to do it, on the back end or pay someone or, it's pretty great. I think ours, was about 19,000 or it was like 18,500 for our website design, and I was like, "I can get, like, 5 pieces of bigger equipment for kids." Like, I'm not spending that much on getting the website done. I'll figure it out, do it myself. Did it. It's fine, it's good enough. It's
it
good if it
works,
gets the
right?
job done, people have resources, people can apply for equipment, all across the board. But, yeah, it definitely makes it so much better when you can just learn how to do it, and then we can also have that under our belt and be like, "I do know how to do that."
That's what it's all about. And really, if you go out there and you spend that money in the beginning, there's a good chance your business is not going to ever make it into the green because that's just, we all make errors, I guess, when we're starting, like we'll buy things that probably we didn't need to. But a $19,000 website, I mean, that's pretty crazy. Actually, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's just honestly crazy all around the board to, like, the things that people think that you have to start a business and how much money people put into it, and a lot of people don't know that they can go get grants or sponsors or, get those investors to come in when they need to. Or even just like tweaking how you set up your business just to make it go at first. Like just like you, how you like started in one way and then you're like, no, I could actually do it this way. And you branched off, connected it, and created it. It's gosh, just starting businesses, being an entrepreneur, it's a crazy field, honestly.
It
Like
is.
there's
It's a
just
lonely
me.
world too. A super
Yeah.
lonely world because you're stuck. Um, do Damon John actually said once, and I loved this quote: entrepreneurship is living a life no one would, to live a life eventually that no one can. So I just loved that quote by him because it's so true. Because the things that we go through on a regular basis it's not glam at
Yeah.
all. Do you know what I mean? It's like a chili on my Karl Lagerfeld sweater yesterday, because I wanted chili so bad and like I had to get it done because then I had to move on to another project. So I'm like making the chili and yeah, like 2 days where my hair's like this because I've been sitting staring at a computer. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're using old footage on your socials because no one wants to see you looking like this.
Right. Well,
But
and that's
yeah, it's a
Sometimes we take a full day just to like do our social media posts and do all of that. And then a whole nother day, like getting our meetings scheduled and getting everything else done that we have to do. And then we have to, do stuff at home and we have to do this and this and this. Some nights we don't sleep. Other nights we go to bed at like, 11, 12 o'clock at night and we're waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like we just have to, like, I don't know. A lot of like when I have to wake up a lot earlier is for, my meetings on the East Coast or overseas where it's the time change. Just being like on Pacific time, it kind of hinders a little bit on that end, but and just all aspects of communication and getting things out there and what we have to do even if we don't want to do them. It's kind of a catch 22 sometimes, especially like when you're like just getting started and getting going. It's really hard to be able to give ourselves to everything and everyone, especially like those that are demanding more and more and more. And like for me, I had to cut a lot of ties because I was like, I don't have the energy for you. Like, I can't take on what you need me to do. I can't take on what you're saying, can't do it. It's like making it harder on my life. It's making it harder on my mental state. Can't do it. Sorry. And I'm like, focusing on Evelyn, my daughter, and just focusing on work. And it's nice to have like the tunnel vision to be able to like pick and choose. Like, I can do this for today and I can, be there for you if you need me later on. But this is what I need to do. And you have to like really make a lot of adjustments and sacrifices that a lot of people don't have to make or don't have to think about, like, especially, like, for, like, our liability with a nonprofit, I have to think about, different areas that a lot of people don't think about because everything's under my name and everything's under, no one really understands the liability that we all have to go under too. And, like, insurance only does so much, and you have to also, make sure that you can hold that liability and make sure it's, just like you said, like, there's always that one person that could be allergic, or there's that one person that can have that reaction. Like, we had to find a doorbell system for our sensory space that did not cause seizures, that wouldn't set off, like, different children, just different things like that.
Mhm.
And, like, with gun reform and gun things and just different aspects on gun violence, especially right now with the schools and the shootings and everything, we have to stray away from being able to do like, the snowball fight. Like they have like these snowball gun things or whatever, where you can like shoot it into like the different Yetis and like all these different
Yeah,
things.
I've got a couple of
Yeah.
those.
And it's like, we have to think about like, oh, we can't have that because, there could be some parents that are like, oh, and like,
You're
all that. And so it's
you're
really
right.
hard to have that, all those other things that people don't think about what we have to do and consider and think about when we are like the sole people that everything's under. Which I know for you, like looking at all like the different pieces of the product and being like, I have to have it under one. Like that's my thing, right? Yeah, under one was yeah. Um, like having to like look into everything like intrinsically, I can't talk, and actually like looking at it more so, than bigger companies do. And like that's, when you get into like the big pharma and when you get into Clorox and Johnson and they don't have to look at those little nitty-gritty things because they just do the, you know, broad umbrella that the US puts under them,
Right.
for restrictions.
Yeah, and it's tough, especially formulating. I get told a lot by my mentors and stuff that I need to find someone to replica me, right? But that's impossible to do because I'm not giving my formulas to anyone. I made that error once. I mean, there are NDAs, and now I'm looking into the world of NDA. That's a lot. A lot of people don't even know what an NDA is. You know what I mean? So
Right?
it's like, but you have to because I made the error of bringing someone on, and they did take my formulation, and it was a really sad thing for me. So it was just a body spray, but still, it's not just it was my formulation, it was a special thing that I did to set my body sprays apart from anyone else's because everything I do is a little different than anything else that you can find on the market. So that's the tough part is and who do you bring onto your team? Because no one has passion for your
Right.
product like you do. You know, when I worked for my sister, yes, I had passion for her product because I didn't want to let her down. So you know what I mean? That was different. But yeah, unless it's like my daughter Viola, she would of course have passion for her product because it's her product, you know. She is Little Liberty. So but I don't have that luxury of bringing them into the business right now because I don't even know where they are. So
And I think that like also, like, if you found different aspects that people were passionate about would be another way to do like, go about it and do it, and because, like, my COO, she, is very passionate about autism and communication, like communication devices, AACs, things like that, and she is so gung ho on all things, making sure the parents are taken care of. And so she like matches my passion on that level, whereas I'm like ADA accessibility, physical disabilities, and, like getting people aware of that aspect because two-thirds of US public schools aren't ADA accessible. And so it's like, like those things are what like really like brings like the heat in me because I'm like, okay, we gotta go, we gotta do it, we gotta meet with these people, these people, these people. This is my plan. And so like when we talk to people, like people go cross-eyed about like what we do, and I'm like, well, you open one door and then 10 doors like come in at you. So you have to like go and hit each one. So you have to, come and bring it all together.
Right.
But like I have other friends that are putting together like a health reform, and so like we go on, we connect on a different level where they're passionate about health and making sure people can afford what they need and not be put into debt for life. And then, you have like myself who's trying to get a bill passed and get everything done on accessibility in schools. And so like we like come together and like we have different connections and different things, and it's just about finding the people that are passionate in different parts of your business. I think is like the key to lifelong success and like getting it where it needs to be because you could have somebody that's like super passionate about creating an image or creating an image behind it, and they are gung-ho about using hops, or maybe they're really passionate about beer and you're just like, oh well, I have this like, do you like have this? Do you have any knowledge on just like the hops in general? Or and then they'll be like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And, like they have that hidden like passion behind it, and then that could turn into like a purpose for them, which is kind of fun to like bring out in people. I've done it, and I love it. I'm like, no, you can do it. Like, let's go. You can do it. This is what you need to do. This is what I would do at least. Like, this is like you can break it up and make it work, and you can do it. Like, it's world's your oyster.
You just have to keep going at it and believe
Right.
in your you have to believe in your brand or what you're creating. You really do. You have to have the passion first before you can ever bring someone else on and, influence them to be passionate about your products. So
Yeah.
I have a small group of people, but the people who I do have, like my mentor, he's huge. I'm sending him out some blue ice and he's going to be featuring it on his podcasts and such.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, it's just figuring out how to get known and seen is crazy. I learned a lot through Amazon because I am an influencer. So I got to see kind of how they get seen on Amazon. They've all got tricks. There's different tricks people don't realize that are out there to get your product seen, different ways they go about it. It's pretty interesting, actually. And tricking the algorithms. I mean, you understand
And
this,
I
but
was
it's
like
a
and there's, like,
world.
different ways to, like, do things because, like, everything's totally different, like, every product. So, like, the book I wrote, I went and sent it off to a whole bunch of libraries for free. And from that, like, people have emailed in and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I just read your book. I just ordered some from your website for my friends and blah, blah, blah." And, like, it'd be like, like, in different states. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool," Like like,
You
when
gotta
you
give
think
away
about
free
that.
stuff. It's a real thing. You have got
It
to give your product
is.
away.
Well, and
People
I
don't
believe
realize,
in,
like,
like, free education and, like, helping people where you need to, like, help them and just different things like that, and, like, the book I have out now is just goes with my keynote, and so it's, like, not, like, a huge book, it's not, like, anything spectacular, like, I worked on it, I got it done, and it was to go with my keynote, so I could be able to, do, like, a signing and, meet with people, and so I didn't think that it would get, like, kinda, like, this big just by going and, donating books to libraries across the US. And I was like, my biggest change in it that I was like, I didn't think that I could do this. Like, I didn't think it'd
that's
be like this
awesome.
big and this amazing. And now it's getting, bigger and I'm like so like gung ho about it. So I'm super happy. But yeah, there's just like those weird things that you just have to try out and see if it works and
It's a
or
lot of
just
trial and
trial and error
tribulation.
and yep, see what works and what doesn't for you. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely perseverance past all the no's and past all, everything that doesn't work, like, just keep trying different things.
Yep, and, you can't I always tell people that you can take so many courses, but are the courses necessarily gonna work for you? Because every successful entrepreneur has done it their own way, really. Like, you come up with ideas that you didn't hear anywhere, they just pop in your head, "Maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'll try this. Maybe this is what I need to try." Like, the GEO thing,
Yeah.
I just came to me, I thought, "Why are we not coming up on AI?"
Mhm.
But I knew what I had to do to be seen on Google, so I did a little research, and that's when I found that out. But it's so new that people aren't even realizing that right now. They're using AI for different things, making funny videos for social
Yeah.
media, like the baby videos that are out there that were
Well, I
funny at
know.
first, but I'm like, they're all the same thing now. And then there was the one where I don't know if you saw these ones, but I mean, I was laughing so hard at the first couple of them. Then it just became stupid, but where the girls in the water with the alligator, and she's like, um, "Look, this is my friend, the alligator." Then the news reporters out there, and they're like, "5 minutes ago, a lady was out, taking a selfie for TikTok," an influencer, and was eaten for lunch by the alligator. I mean, at first it was funny, but then it was kinda like, you know,
Right?
got a little old, but those are all AI.
I was like, it does make for a good story though, and I think that that's where people are like, "Oh, it could work maybe," and then they try it and then they, like, blow up because it's, like, some silly, weird idea, and that's the whole thing behind, like,
That
just
they
keep going,
tried.
just keep making them, keep trying, keep doing it, in any aspect. Just keep going and keep going, you never know what's gonna work.
You really don't.
No.
I mean, I could change the names on any of my products at any time, and like this, I have one, I called it the best body scrub. That's all what it was, best body scrub.
Yeah.
And when I changed the name to best body scrub versus glycolic body polish, it sold out that day in the mall because I changed the name. Same product, different name. Not Mimi's wrinkle cream. I took it off the table for a minute, but I will bring it back eventually. It has a funny story behind it. But yeah, that one, people loved Not Mimi's because they had a Mimi possibly,
Yeah.
or they saw wrinkle cream.
It's kinda like the not your daughter's jeans or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like tweaking the names of the products, like the Hoppy Skincare, that's set in stone. Like those names will never change. The Liberty Collection, it won't ever change either because it's just a really simple, affordable. So that's another thing about my products, though, is they're very affordable. So there's no reason anyone should be out there spending $40. I mean, that's max, actually 40, but there's companies charging like 90, $100.
I know there's some out there that are pretty good.
I was looking for a cleanser the other day and they're charging $85 for 6 ounces of cleanser. I'm like, you do realize that cleanser probably is costing them $3 with the packaging that it's in to
Oh, one
produce.
of my friends got this Korean skincare stuff over at Costco, and she was like, "You have to try it. It's amazing, blah, blah, blah." And it was actually pretty nice. I was like, "Man, this is a lot better than some of the stuff that I use because I'm like spending like, $85 for, one serum." And I'm like, "Ooh," and this like feels so much better on my skin. And, I do like the Morph pre and post. Like it's a spray, but it's mineral based. It's in the gold bottle. I don't remember what it's called. But anyways, it's by Morph. And I absolutely love it because I'll get a sunburn and just like spray it on and like heals it so quick. And, it wasn't meant for that. But, with the minerals and the vitamins that are in it, and it's just, a pre or post setting powder or spray. And like there's just like these little things that are like better than others and they're not that much, and a lot of the times you find the right product, and I'm kind of, like, super excited. I wanna go and order what's the crow one that you said that you have?
The dope.
Yes. Yeah. I wanna
It's
go.
so funny too because beauty is our drug. That's another like, well, why did I come up with that? Well, actually, there's a couple reasons, but beauty is our drug because I watched an episode on Shark Tank once and they said to this lady, this is the most competitive industry next to illegal drug sales. What makes you think you have the face for $1 million cosmetic brand. And I thought, I'm never going in front of them. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, beauty is our drug because I'm your new local drug dealer or whatever with my cosmetics, right? So,
That's so
kind of
cool.
funny. So, they're totally dope. When people come in, I mean, they love the dope. It is a big deal. I am doing a sale right now. Hoppy Launch is the code. So, it's free shipping and a complimentary gift with all purchases from the website. So, but
Okay,
yeah, the
awesome.
dope is about 3 months worth of product for $20. You can't beat that.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
that's pretty
introductory
incredible.
price, but it will never go anywhere over 26. It'll probably be retail at 26 once I bump the price up, but still for a serum that has all of your stuff in it, it's actually my Vital Drops from the Liberty collection. So I
Okay.
played with the bases with my Liberties before I added the hops to create the Hoppy Skincare. So it's got every vitamin you can imagine. Vital drops, basically, if you go to the doctor, they give you an IV, they're putting the vitals back into your body, right? Same thing for the skin. You're putting the vitals back into the skin. So it's got hyaluronic acid. It's just heirloom rose extract. So it's got like a nice little hint of rose, but it's not overwhelming. It's not an essential oil. If it goes on your face and it's by me, it is only going to have a natural occurring scent because skincare should not smell good. It shouldn't smell bad, but it should not smell like.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, the dope's incredible. And so is the blue ice. All of the products are. Like I said, if it made it
Mhm.
onto any of my collections, it is a product I'm proud of because I'm not going to put my face on something people are going to make fun of. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah, definitely. Gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share this with everyone.
yeah, I'm so
And
happy you had me on here. I
yeah,
appreciate
thank you
it.
for coming on, and, all of the links will be linked below, as well as links to your top products that you mentioned. And so, yeah, just everyone, if you wanna go on Hoppy Skincare and soon hoppyskin.com, and help, promote Carrie's brand, I would absolutely love it. It's an amazing thing that she's done and just different adversity she's came over, and it's really hard for all of us to keep going past a certain point. So kudos to you, Carrie. You're amazing. You're awesome. I'm so proud of you for doing this and winning
Thank
the
you.
awards and doing everything. I know personally it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And so definitely just keep going. I'm just super proud of you. You're awesome.
I do want to let your viewers know that when this podcast launches, I'll be putting a new coupon code out. So we're going to do Hoppy Nikki. So Hoppy Nikki as you, and that will do a free shipping and a complimentary gift as well
Okay,
with all
perfect. I will put
purchases.
that on there. Yeah. Well, sounds good, and thank you so much, Carrie. Is there anything else you wanna share with everyone?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you for watching.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and visit hoppyskincare.com.